What was a 13-year-old doing out at 1:30 a.m.? I like how they soften it by saying he snuck out and that family is outraged and was an off-duty police officer. Well, as a police officer and member of this community, I'm outraged that the parents allowed this child to be roaming the streets at such a late hour. I'm outraged that the parents were not responsible knowing where their child was at such an hour. As a parent, you are trusted with the most precious task of knowing where your child is at 1:30 a.m. I am outraged, all right. Will these parents be held accountable at all? I am truly outraged that another minority child is taken because the minority community does not take ownership. And even though this had absolutely nothing to do with the department, how long until the civil suits fly? Over under is 3 days, family is seeing dollar signs before this kid is even planted. I'm outraged, and it is time their culture starts demanding more accountability. Would have never happened had the kid not been out at 1:30 hours on a school night, but that's a whole other aspect of this situation that'll never see the light of day. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm sure that right about now Joe Frugally is saying thank you Officer Blank. Let's see how the fake reverends, community activists and friends of the deceased act on this one, for less than subtle reasons the general population isn't aware of yet. I have utter contempt for the news media, particularly Channel 5 and their breathy, National Enquirer-like commercial break teasers. What the fuck is a 13-year-old doing out at 1:30 a.m.? Heading out for a friendly craps game? I doubt he was going to a Chicago Public Schools chess club meeting. First it was he was going to the store, now he snuck out of the house and did not even own a bike. It is a senseless tragedy for all of those involved and could have been prevented. Let's stop making up stories though, and take responsibility for your actions as a parent or lack thereof. The police officer that was involved in this incident is a nice guy, very quiet and hardworking. He probably panics and was scared. Hey, it happens. This goof J-Fed has everybody nervous regarding off-duty incidents. Let's be clear about one thing, he did not get a DUI, he was not impaired. Wonder, at 13, how long his juvenile record was, and how many baby mamas he had. Since the officer's job and time on the department are being aired out, why weren't the parents charged with neglect? I have a blue flyer from my library stating curfew, time to be a parent. Lists other info in English and Spanish straight from the Chicago Police Department. Caps, Jody Weiss and Mayor Daley. Okay, an event allegedly happened with an off-duty officer. Before we fire up the blog gas chamber and strap the poor guy in, I concur with Second City Cop. Let the investigation take its course. Before we jump to defense on either side of this accident, let's just get all the facts and leave the critique and conjecture out of this post. Remember, there are media and city hall bitches that read this blog as well. If the police officer needs support, then by all means step up. And while I agree also with the irresponsibility of the breeding crackheads, oops I mean victims' parents, and while DCFS should get a call, they're grieving a loss of a paycheck, oops I mean child. Outrage will truly be if the city pays these welfare-sucking bastards off, oops I mean victims' relatives. See where I'm sitting on this one. Subtle like a hand grenade. In the ghetto, Joe walks in the streets and doesn't use sidewalks. They ride those illegal mini motorcycles with no headlights in the street at night. They are always walking blindly into traffic and against the walk symbol in the crosswalk, and shorties are constantly running out in the street from between parked cars right in front of your car. I'm surprised more stupid fuckers in the ghetto don't get hit or run over and killed on a regular basis. I guess rules of the road, laws, traffic laws, and yes, common sense doesn't apply if you're Joe. Were there any lights on the kid's bike? Was he riding the bike per rules of the road for bicyclists? What was he doing out at that time? Where were the kid's parents? Older brothers and sisters? This is a tragic fatal accident, nothing more, yet the copper, as always, gets hung out to dry by our superiors and the state's attorney pencil necks. Now go out and work hard and stick your necks out. You'll be rewarded with fairness and compassion too, when your turn comes. An entire career of doing good for citizens, down the drain, for this officer, just so the powers to be, have a fall guy to hang for the media sharks and the do-gooder liberals. Of course, blame the real people to blame, the kid's parents and family, for negligence and improper supervision of a juvenile. The Chicago/Crook County way, in action, as usual. I feel pretty sorry for this officer, no sympathy for him by the socialist news media, of course. Go ahead Daily, just pay out the lawsuit with the taxpayers' money, not yours, as usual, without asking any questions of the kid's family, in front of a grand jury. This police officer's civil rights have been violated. I'll bet this kid didn't sneak out. I wouldn't doubt if the kid's parents sent him up to Ashland Avenue to buy them some cigarettes, grape soda, or flaming hots or something similar, because they were too lazy to go themselves. Piss poor investigation of the parents. Just hang the cop, it's fast, easy, and the truth won't factor in and offend anyone. Assholes. My grandfather used to say, if you're in your own bed after 10 p.m., nothing is going to happen to you. Just another example of the jungle rats scurrying about at all times. Run down a knicker. It gives you energy.